recollection PS is when I was in year 1, we went on a redwoods trip and my gumboots got full of mud and had to be pulled out.
Our memory is when we were on the blue court playing netball and Lucy had a bear on her shoulder and I was going, ah, 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 and all of my mates were laughing at me.
I remember last year I broke my leg and I was so a perfectionist, so I wrote everyone's name on my cast for me.
I remember in year 3 in Mrs. Washington's class, she made us do yoga instead of homework.
My memory is when Lily McLaughlin stole all the Little Miss pet shops and wouldn't let us play with any of them.
My memory is when I performed at Blast in the Park with my friend.
My memory is the first day when I came to school, I was so nervous, but Mrs. Jetman got me through the day.
My memory is when I went to see my new teacher, Miss Washington, and I was really nervous about having no friends in my class, and she pointed to the list of the people and said about Isabel Hickman, the new girl, and said, maybe you guys might be best friends, and we are.
My memory is in year 3 when Mrs. Washington was my teacher. She let us do folk dancing, and once I had to go with this boy I did not like and I was not happy at all.
My memory is on my first day of school, I was really sad and I didn't want to let go of my mum, but Tessa took my hand and then she led me into the classroom.
My memory is from the start of this year when I got my drought ignition flash, I started crying.
One time when I was playing Bull Rush on the field, I ran into a pole.
My memory is one time when we were playing cricket in Mrs. Wilkins' class and she wanted to have a hit and she hit me with the bat.
Our memory was in year 4 when we hadn't talked the whole year until we were stranded on a table full of boys. And she finally broke the silence and said hi, and then we couldn't stop talking.
My memory is when I was in year 2, I tripped over on the playground and I was bursting out in tears, and then this teacher came over and lifted me up, and then I was just smiling, was like, haha, I got to be carried back to class.
My memory is when it was my first day of school. The first thing I did, I think, was I jumped on the table and I said, I'm Mr. Silly. It was in Mrs. Boyd's class and I don't think she liked me that much after this. I don't know.
My favourite memory from school is getting pelted in the face by Mr. Harmon in dodgeball every morning.
My memory was when we went to camp, the pool was so cold that our parent helpers let us go on the slide again.
My memory is one day it was a normal lunchtime and then we heard the fire alarm and it was Nate burning his popcorn.